Therapy Army, let's be having you. Hey, where are you? Where are you, Therapy Army? It's an emergency. It's an emergency. Somebody called the football angels to come and rescue Man United because Man United are in deep. We're in deep doo-doo, as some people say, doo-doo. Martinez confirmed out for the season. Varane could be out for large parts of the season. And you know what it is? You know what time it is? To me, to you, to me, to you. Remix that Chuckle Brother track, mate. Who was it? Tinchy Strider. Is that who did the remix with him? Who was it?
Oh, with the Chuckle Brothers, I have no idea.
Chuckle Brother remix, man. Big up to every one of you. We've got the Forest game coming up. Forest. Forest. And Forest's home form, people, is mid-table form. I repeat, Forest's home form is mid-table form. Manchester United away record is disturbing and disgusting, right? So, something got to give tomorrow. Something is got to give tomorrow, people. Somebody get me out of here, people. Honestly, it's going to be crazy tomorrow. And if you don't match them for pace, power on the transitions, if you don't match them, we're going to get slaughtered. Actually, they don't slaughter teams. Let me take that back. That might be a bit hyperbole there. They'll score one and defend for their lives. But when you score against them, that doesn't happen. You win games against them. So it's going to be a very fascinating game. But let me just kick you off to tomorrow, right? Let's have a look at what's going on. Let's have a look at the little bit of the preview for me. Let's have a look. Let's be having your therapy, Army, because it is a big game because of what happened today. Villa smashed Newcastle 3-0. Little old AFC Bournemouth went to Tottenham Big Hotspur and smashed them 3-2. Last minute winner. The kid absolutely did an Ahmed Wafa on them. Ahmed Wafa checked inside. Those of you who don't know who Ahmed Wafa is. When we used to play football with these two, right? One of our brothers called Ahmed Wafa used to check that. He used to put the handbrakes on all day, every day. That's what he used to do. It's a big show tonight, people. It's a big show. It's a big show tonight. Welcome, Tom. Welcome, Jarvis, Bowley, Mr. Bowley 77. And somebody calls him Rick Ashley. Is it Rick Ashley? Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you. Listen,
never gonna give you up. I won't sing it. I'm embarrassing myself.
Listen, I just hope, literally hope, Manchester United are walking out of that dressing room tomorrow to that soundtrack. Never gonna let you down. And I hope they're gonna sing that. Never gonna give you, never gonna let you down. I'm praying. Yeah. I'm praying that's the last song that they play before they walk out of that. But let me just get you because we got a jam-packed show tonight. Jam-packed with the heavyweights. United Real Therapy heavyweights that are here. They're all here because they know how serious this is. The season's on this game, people. I'm telling you, especially the league. The league, Manchester United league form is on this game. So let me just give you quick things. Nottingham Forest set to be without 11 players, including Serge Aguirre, Konate, Musa Nketiah, Gustavo, Scrab, Ryan Yates, Gilliam Beons, Willie Bowley, Dean Henderson, Renan Lodi, Omar Richards, Chris Woods also miss out. Wow. Manchester United are without centre-back Lisandro Martinez, who's out for the season, and Rafael Varane. And obviously we've got Garnacho injured, Rashford injured. You know what I mean? Scott McTominay and Luke Shaw are also injured. You might as well call this injury the battle of the two injury teams. You might as well call this. Anyway, let's get into some little bit head facts, right? Head to head, Manchester United have scored at least 3 goals in each of the last 6 league games against Nottingham Forest. The Red Devils have won their last 9 fixtures against Forest, accomplished by aggregate score of 34-3. Forest are looking to avoid joining Sheffield Wednesday 94-94, Chelsea in 2002 as the team Man United are beaten 4 times within the season, right? The only win Forest have secured 11 Premier League games against Manchester United was 2-1 victory at Old Trafford, December 1994, courtesy of goal from Stan Collymore and Stuart Pearce. I remember the Stan Collymore.
What's the goal that was?
I remember the Stan Collymore goal. That just tells you who I am, lad. I was a kid then, and I can still remember that. Nottingham Forest on their second run of 9 league games without a win this season. The previous were their only home victory over Liverpool. Only Palace and Leeds can have longer runs without wins in top flight campaign. Their only defeat in the last 11 league games at home came against Newcastle on the 17th of March. They're aiming to set a new club record of scoring 14 consecutive Premier League fixtures at home. The only team to keep a league clean sheet at this ground this season was Spurs back in August. They have conceded a top flight. They have conceded a top flight of 14 goals from outside the box this season, with Fulham in 2013 and 2017. The last team to let in more in a single campaign, 18. Justin Lingard has failed to score or make assists in the last 16 Premier League appearances. At Forest, he's due one tomorrow, people, against Man United. Don't you worry about that. A win would help Man United suppress their overall points tally of last season, 58 points. Their next defeat will be their 200th in the Premier League. We've won 720, drawn 26, and lost tomorrow if we lose, will be 200. But Manchester United in the Premier League, yeah? Check this out, people. Manchester United have won 720, drawn 26, and lost nearly 200 games. They're unbeaten in all 15 league fixtures this season against teams who begin at the match round at the bottom of the half of the table. The Red Devils have lost 3 of their last 4 away matches in the league and have conceded 12 goals in those defeats. Only Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest at 38 and 36 and Leicester 32 and Leeds 30 have conceded more as many Premier League away goals as Manchester United, 29. They have scored a league high share of 84%, 37 out of 40 of their goals from open play this season. Their 7 goals from set piece situations, including penalties. It's the joint fewest in the division. So we don't score from set pieces, people. But that's a bit for you, people. That is a bit for you. Big up to everybody. Love and light. Big up everybody in here. So let me just set this. Nottingham Forest, you go to their ground. The last time we were there, let me see. Let me just do a little bit of a quiz question. Can anybody tell me the last time Manchester United played? Right, and can you also, if you get the year, can you tell me the 3 strikers who scored? Right. So listen for the question, people. Listen for the question. Can you tell me the last time Manchester United played? The year. Give me the year Manchester United last played Nottingham Forest at the Forest ground. If you can tell me that, can you also tell me the 3 different scorers?
It was 88. It was 98-99 treble winning season. I think it was the treble winning season.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
I think the goal scorers
100%.
were Cole, Solskjaer got 4. Dwight York.
Bingo! Mundo's won it. He's like me. Mundo's won it. He's did it, yeah. So it's one of the most strangest games ever. We were winning, I think it was 2-0 or 2-1, something like that. We were winning. Dwight York, Andy Cole got a 1 each. 80-something minutes. Who comes on? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he bags 4 at the City ground. He bags 4. So that's where we're at, people. That's where we're at. But anyway, big up to all of you. We'll come to the Glazer games later in the show. But I'm going to start with you, Mundo, since you got that right. You were first to the presser. Let me just get the super chat. Brighton will hands down big time there. Listen, they are. And listen, I'm going to come to that. I've said it already. Brighton play the best football. I've been watching their games for the past 6-7 games. They played by none. They play the best football in the Premier League, hands down. And I can argue with anybody till the cows come home. Trust me on this one. So big up to Alien Tenno. I am cacking my pants. I am shitting it. I just hope that they beat us 2-0, 2-1. We go home. Let's just get home. You know what? More than 3 will be an embarrassment.
No, come on.
I lose 2 and I'll go home with my tail between my legs and forget about stopping City doing a treble. Because trust me, this ain't gonna happen. Big up Rafa. Rafa says next 5 games are all away from OT and worrying. How many points do you think we can get with the wounded squad led by our captain? Let's not start there, but big up for the super chat. So Mundo, I'm gonna go to you. I'm gonna start with you, right? By the result today by AFC Bournemouth, by the results of impressive, absolutely good evening, absolutely took Newcastle apart, and Ollie Watkins, one of the best striking performance I've seen in a long time from an English striker, people, in a long time. Took Newcastle absolutely, literally, pulled their pants down, literally, done them on the spin. That guy there, they all going about, the guy here, the Dutch guy, the centre-half, he did not know what hit him today. Thinking that, Mundo, knowing our record away from home, for me, I put this game to that the cowards have got to turn up, and they have to win by any means necessary. What's your view quickly, Mundo?
Well, we definitely have to. After the results of today, it will give us that bit of breathing space. And the thing is that, see, I'm not looking up. I'm looking down. I'm looking at the teams that are just below us, and the team that are the closest to us are Tottenham, right? Tottenham play Newcastle, I think, not next game, but the game after. Then they play Liverpool and they play us, right? So the way I see it is, if we have to win by any means necessary tomorrow, get that bit of a buffer. We've got a game in hand as well over them, but we've got Brighton away, we've got Tottenham away. 2 very difficult games, our next 2 league games away after this game. So and we've got West Ham away as well. So we've got some tricky games coming up, a lot of away games. So we have to win tomorrow. Now, in all honesty, the reason we're in the position we're in the league is because of our defence. Most definitely not our attack. Now it's time for our attack to show up. Martial is back. Sancho, these guys have got to step up. They've got to step up. And irrespective of the fact that we've got our 2 centre-halves out, it's like we can't put a full 11 together. Like, as soon as 2 players come back in Casemiro and Eriksen, we'll lose our 2 centre-halves. As soon as Martial comes back, Rashford goes out. It's like we can't get our strongest 11. So we have to muddle through. But the thing is, with whatever team he puts out tomorrow, if you've got Casemiro in midfield, you've got Bruno, you've got Eriksen, you've got Sabitzer, you've got options, then I think we should be winning, irrespective of not having those 2 chuckle brothers at the back. Because the major difference between having those 2 at the back in seasons gone by and this season is that before, in front of them, you had Fred and McTominay, right? It was that soft centre, right? But we don't have those 2. You've got Casemiro. I don't think Eriksen will start tomorrow, but you've got Casemiro, Sabitzer, Bruno. That midfield should be strong enough to get us through that game, in my view. So I expect us to win. Okay. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be scrappy, but I expect us to win tomorrow, irrespective of having those 2 donkeys in that centre-half. The biggest concern, though, moving forward is, because when I look at Forest, the biggest threat, where's the biggest threat coming from? Probably Morgan Gibbs White. Yeah, he gave us trouble last time.
Brian Johnson.
Brian Johnson.
And Johnson, yeah, he's very quick, right? But if you cut out the supply to those guys, that's why I'm focusing on midfield. We've got to win the battle in midfield tomorrow. We've got to control the game in midfield tomorrow. That's how we.
Listen, let me just set their tactics. They play very narrow. The best way to beat Nottingham Forest, and I watched the Leeds game. Leeds destroyed them out wide. They've got very structured 4-4-3. They play very narrow and they play on a transition. They let you have the ball. But what they do, they set traps for you in midfield, win the ball quickly. Gibbs White they always get the ball to Gibbs White to Johnson, goal. That's how they score. And when they score at home, people, they do not concede. They do not concede. Mark my words. Manchester United go and score first tomorrow. Different game. They have to come out and play. And the thing about them as well, they leave massive gaps. When they've got to chase the game, they leave huge gaps between their forward 3 and the 3 in midfield and their defence. They lose all sorts of holes on the transition. And Manchester United are quite good on the transition, usually, But tomorrow, who's going to finish us? Who's going to score? I put the thing up before Sevilla and the preview, and I said, Bumbaye, who's going to step up and replace? Who's going to step up and fill Rashford's shoes? So I'm going to ask you to about tomorrow, Bumbaye. Who do you think needs to step up in this team? Because Sancho, at home, at Old Trafford, honestly, I'm that despondent with him. I might not even start him tomorrow. I know that we're short up front, but I might not even start. I might even start Palestri on the right, give him his debut. Honestly, I'm that disturbed with Sancho, because in this game, you cannot effing, mark my words, you cannot carry any passengers. That's their game. They play high tempo with lots of aggression, lots of energy. It's a tight ground. I don't know how many of you have been to the City ground, but it's a tight ground. It's an old school football ground, and their fans make the amount of noise and literally challenge the referee and the referee's system, put huge pressure on them to get them the calls and free kicks that they need. So, who's stepping up for you tomorrow, Bumbaye? That's who I want to know. Give me the two names who's stepping up. By the way, there's 100 of you in here. Subscribe to the channel. We're 70 away from 7,000. Join the community. Hit that notification button. It lets you know next time we're live. Bumbaye, who's stepping up tomorrow? It's by any means necessary. I'm quoting Malcolm. I'm quoting Brother Malcolm. By any means necessary. I don't care how you play. 3 points is a must. Go ahead.
Evening to Therapy Army, evening to the panel. I think the two players that really owe Man United a performance tomorrow, given it's a good opportunity and the fact that our direct rivals lost, you can go into this game with a little bit less pressure and more of an opportunity. It tilts that balance, which is good. But I'd like to see Sancho really, you know, we've been patient with Jadon. You know, he's had his problems and he's back now. And this is a chance for him personally to you know, say to everybody, look, the void is not completely, is not very deep. I'm here. And I think Martial as well, man, he definitely owes us a performance. These two, Anthony, you know, he's been pulling his weight, to be fair to him. And I listened the last podcast after the Sevilla game, and Jarvis was right. We have to put aside the fact that he's 85 million. Remember, he's only 23. He's not played for, you know, 10 big clubs or whatever. This is his first opportunity in England. He's a young kid from Brazil, and he's done well. He's here on merit, and he is getting better and better and better. But the two people that I think need to give us a performance, and they owe themselves and Man United and the team a performance, is Sancho and Martial.
I'll go to you. I'll go to you, Tom, and then to Jarvis. Who's going to step up tomorrow? Because I'm sick of cowardly FC. I'm sick of getting bullied tomorrow. Without intensity, aggression, and high tempo, and winning 50-50, winning the second balls, they're going to score and just sit back. And without Rashford, I can't see us finding a goal. So who's going to need to step up? Do you agree with Bumbaye?
I agree with the people that he's mentioned, yeah, but if I'm being honest, I think Erik ten Hag in a way has got to step up, and he's got to know that when you bring in Harry Maguire, when you bring in Victor Lindelof into this team, you ain't going to be playing the way that you have been recently. It ain't going to work. You don't have the out ball from back that Martinez gives you and that direct pass forward. You don't have that when you play those two, unfortunately. So unless you're going to suddenly turn Casemiro from a destroyer central defensive midfielder to a ball carrier, then I don't really know what he's going to have to do, personally. We know Malacia will have to play left back. We know probably Wan-Bissaka will start the game. So you're not going to get much creativity from the wide areas. You don't have the out ball going forward. So all we can really hope for and rely on is what set pieces and the one long shot pass of Fernandes. But ultimately, I just think Ten Hag needs to come up with something. He needs to, reinvent this team from now until the end of the season, because the unfortunate circumstances has changed that, because you don't have the security that you have your best backline. And at the end of the day, we don't score enough goals to outscore teams. If we did that, I wouldn't be as, blown away as to we've lost both of our starting centre halves. If we blew teams away 3-4-0, we create enough chances to do it, but we're not ruthless enough. That's the problem. But Bumbay's just said, Sancho, mate, you need to step up now because this manager put some faith in you, and he took you away from over media, over speculation, and whatever's gone on with Jadon Sancho in that personal capacity, it has been kept quiet, and I do appreciate that there's not been any leaks or anything, because I think that might have affected him more so. But you've had that time away from the team. You've had the new climate. We need to see something now. We need to see not a little 1-2 and a little 1-2 with somebody and things like that. No, you need to be driving at people. We need to be seeing the player that we paid the 70, 80 million pounds, the player who was valued at 120 million euros. That's what we need to see. With Martial, I mean, if I'm being honest with Martial, what do I expect from him? Stay fit. Honestly, just be available. The best thing that you can ever be as a football player is availability. That is your best thing as a footballer. Because if you ain't available, you ain't used to nobody, and you ain't used to your teammates at the end of the day. And he's missed the majority of the season. And like we say, we're in the phase now where we need goals to come from somewhere. And we know we can put the ball in the back of the net. It is just a case of staying fit and having the confidence in front of goal. But at the end of the day, you go to, like you said, you go to the City ground, mate. You go a goal down, mate. I feel for him. I really do. And I'm not necessarily players like Martial and Sancho, but Maguire, Lindelof, these players, mate, they throw the towel in when the going gets tough. We've seen it before. We saw it pretty much all last season.
The cowardly FC is always there. Jarvis, who needs to step up tomorrow? Who needs to step up? Big up, Tom.
Well, tomorrow is going to be a tough game. Because on City ground, Nottingham Forest has been amazing. They haven't lost in I think there's 10 or 12 games since their last loss. So we
at the City ground, their form at home is mid-table form. It's a mid-table form.
Yeah,
bottom three form. It's a mid-table form. And
for us, it's all about refocus and refueling. We have to be sharp. We have to take the chance and prove to the fans, to the guys on the field, to Ten Hag, that we are going to turn this around. Because the last couple of days after the injury, it's been like a funeral among the Man United fans. Everybody saying the season is over. We have no center backs. Everything is like down. So we have to prove for ourselves and for the fans and for the players that we can turn this around and make something out of this season. I want the players to show some courage. For players to step up. Now is the time. Now is the time for Anthony to step up, and Sancho. It's his time to step up. He needs to show what he's made of. We can't keep on with the play he's doing. He's afraid to go into tackles and never put his body in the line. So now they have to show it, and I hope Ten Hag knows how to push the right buttons to get this group of players going. Yeah.
Big up. Listen, Mundo, give me your team quickly. Let's go around. Let's do the teams. Who are you playing at the back? If Shaw's fit, and let me tell you, I'm going to play Shaw Lindelof. I'm not having Maguire anywhere near my.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely, I was going to say the same thing.
Because of the pace and how they play on the transition, Mundo. I don't want him to be babysat. If Shaw's fit, Lindelof and Shaw play tomorrow because Wood is injured. Some might say you have to play Maguire because Wood's dangerous in the air and that. Wood's injured. Wood is injured. So tomorrow, right? That's who I'm playing at the back, centre out backs. Malacia obviously out there and Wan-Bissaka. That's who I'm playing. Midfield is Bruno, it's Casemiro and Sabitzer, right? The three up front are. Bumbaye thinks so. He has to step up. Tom said he has to step up. So I'll put him in the team. Sancho, little coward who just gets bullied off the ball. I have never seen a player get dispossessed so easily. He gets dispossessed so easily. The contrast between him and Anthony is like day and night. So Sancho on the left, Martial down the middle, and Anthony on the right. That's my team.
You know what? The only thing I would change. There's a couple of things I would change. I'm tempted to put.
Let me just get this super chat. Big up, Alien Tunnel. Is this something else? Yeah. Let me just get these 2 super chats. Big up, Martial score a brace tomorrow. We'll see. I hope and pray. Well, our objectives now on the league. Forget the cups. Yeah. No, and the league for me, 100%. And it should have been from day one, Alien Tunnel. I was telling anybody and their nan that I don't give a effing damn about Mickey Mouse effing trophies. I give a damn about the opportunity for the collapse of Liverpool and Chelsea to finish highest we can in the Premier League for a long, long time. But go ahead, Mundo.
I was going to say, I would almost mirror your team exactly, but I might put Diego Dalot at left back. He can play left back. And I think Malacia, the last couple of games, has been a little bit shaky. And I'm not quite sure up against Johnson. So maybe Diego Dalot at left back. And I'm tempted to say, because Anthony's not looked too bad on the left as well, to put Anthony on the left and put Balestri on the right. Because I think we need some pace. I think we need to fight fire with fire. Because let's be honest, right? What we need to be doing tomorrow is forget playing out from the back. Forget trying to construct through those 2 donkeys at centre half. Get the ball, do what we did against Everton, mate. Give it to Bruno, launch it over the top, mate. Runners. That's what we need to be doing tomorrow. Forget trying to construct play. We've got those 2 centre halves. If Maguire and Lindelof start, we ain't constructing play from the back. Forget it. It'll be like stuck in mud, that ball. It'll be going side to side about 50 times before it moves forward once. So and De Gea's crap with the ball at his feet. Forget it. Why invite pressure? Just lump it up. That's runners. That's what I would do tomorrow. Scrap, fight. That's it. And the other thing as well is if Martial plays as well, he's very good at holding the ball up. He's very good at winning the ball, bringing it down, holding it up, bringing others into play. So you can go long to Martial. You can't go long to Weghorst. You can't. Forget it. And you know when you told me that set piece statistic, I'm thinking, how is that possible when you've got a 6'6" giant in the box? And we don't score even one set piece.
Yeah. To be fair, Mundo, we don't cross the ball. We do the most predictable set pieces ever. We're so predictable on set pieces. Other than if let's say Casemiro scores now and again and gets chances. Bombaye, quickly pick your team. Pick your team. Pick your 11.
De Gea in net. Aaron Wan-Bissaka on the right, Malacia on the left, Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof, Casemiro in front of them, with Eriksen and Bruno, Martial in the centre, Sancho on the left, and Anthony on the right.
Right, there we go. Neil Belling, are you on Twitter? Tag me in a post on Twitter and I'll get back to you. Big up to you, bro. Tom, pick your 11. Give me your 11 tomorrow.
David now. Malacia, if obviously sure not fit. Maguire, Lindelof. I go Wan-Bissaka. Personally, I go Casemiro. If he's fit and no illnesses or whatever, I'd play Fredney personally. In this kind
He's been nursing an injury. Is he nursing an injury? Yeah, he's been nursing an injury.
Right, okay, fair enough then. We'll go a bit Fernandez then, as we usually do. Front three, first I'd go Sancho, Anthony, Martial, personally.
Okay. Go ahead. Can I just ask who's your midfield, Bombaye? Just remind me. Casemiro, Bruno, who else?
Eriksen.
And then who's your 3 up front?
I want to go for it tomorrow. This team, last time.
Who's your 3 up front? Who was your 3 up front?
Martial, Anthony on the right, and Sancho.
Okay, go ahead.
Martial, Sancho on the left, Anthony on the right.
There you go. Why you going for it? Go ahead, and Jarvis. What's your 11 tomorrow? Big up, Tom. Tom, come back.
Well, we have a lot of options, but I was thinking about Martial. Are we going to play him or not? He can play 60 minutes or he can play the last 30 minutes. unless he will get injured again. So we have to take.
I think we should start him and try to get him to score, and then take him off.
Yeah, but he played a game 3 days ago, so in my mind, I wouldn't start Martial. And then what options do we have then? Weghorst on top,
Treadmill man, aka treadmill man.
Because Weghorst has been so dreadful in the last couple of games, so I wouldn't start him at all. So
But to be fair, his last goal for Manchester United was against who? His first goal for Manchester United was against who? Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, but the thing is,
he's already scored at the City ground already. Yeah.
I won't start Weghorst because he's not good enough. At the moment, he slows us down when we're attacking, and he looks like he's have no goal threat at all. So if Martial don't start, who are we going to play? It's a conundrum. You know, we can try Elanga maybe on top just to get some pace on top and sit back and just hit them on the break and counter them, as Mundo was talking about. And with Pilastri and Anthony. So I'm not quite sure how we're going to set up this team, but I would like to try something else than Weghorst, and I don't think Martial will start tomorrow, to be honest.
So Sabitzer with his good movement up front as the false number 9.
Yeah, Sabitzer, he's brilliant, but Sabitzer and Weghorst, that won't work.
Yeah.
So
would you play Sabitzer as the false 9?
Yeah, well, if Weghorst starts, we have to play Bruno in the 10, and if Martial starts, we play Sabitzer in the 10. So because we have to have to play together.
But would you play Sabitzer as a number 9 other than Weghorst altogether, and Martial, both of them on the bench?
Oh, no. Yeah, well, then we will be set up like in a diamond or something like that. We did it. Remember a couple of years ago, Solskjaer did that with he put Mata in the false 9. We played like a diamond against Chelsea on Stamford Bridge. We won. I think we won that game 2-0 or 2-1 or something like that, and that actually worked. But I don't think Ten Hag want to do anything like that. He's a man with principles, and he will play his style, whatever. So
just a reminder that we played Ericsson as a false 9 against Brighton, and it was a disaster.
Oh, we got murdered.
Yeah. It was a disaster. So no false 9s for me. Sorry, no, forget it.
Let me just say this: big up Nick Nash. Hold tight, Nick Nash. Nick Nash, congratulations, Manchester United women's team, for making their first ever major final by reaching the Women's FA Cup final. Of course, I watched it. It was a nervy game. I was sat here watching it, absolutely biting every nail. Brighton, we played Brighton. If you've been watching Manchester United this season, like I have, the women's team, Brighton are the bottom of the league. They're the bottom of the league. Manchester United 2.5 weeks ago, we smashed Brighton 4-0. Brighton turn up today in the FA Cup semi-final at Leeds Sports Village. And guess what? They go 1-0 up by Mary Epps making probably the worst goalkeeping mistake I've ever seen. She scored an own goal. The ball was coming across to put it, and like a cross shot. And other than parting it away, she literally like basketballed it into her own net. She dunked it into her own net. And then our centre half, who's really good usually, just the 50-50 ball over the top. The striker's putting pressure on her. And she tries to pass back to Mary Epps. Mary Epps, the ball is not enough. The striker takes it for Brighton and puts it in. And it's 2-2. So big up Rachel Williams, absolute warrior of a footballer, women's footballer. If you know Rachel Williams, she's been around the block. She's an absolute warrior, brilliant footballer, so intelligent, holds the ball up. I swear to God, sometimes I think she's got a better hold-up play than majority of Man United team. I swear, and I'm talking about the men's team. She's got better movement than majority of our forwards in the men. I swear, I'm like, this will be the perfect game tomorrow. Get Rachel Williams off the pitch tomorrow. She only came on and played the last 10 minutes. She played in the last 10 minutes, and she got the winner, 3-2. So absolutely brilliant, but we made hard work of it. And it was like 2 huge errors from the centre back and our goalkeeper that let Brighton in. But Brighton played the percentages. They just got a new manager, and it was their first game, and they made it a cup tie. I was literally biting my nails, going, "Please do not get the men's bottle job mentality and bottle job a semi-final. You know what I mean? And bottle job a final." We're going to Wembley. Wembley! We're the famous Man United, and we're going to Wembley. So congratulations for the women's team. They're still on top of the league. But on Wednesday is the biggest game of the season at Sports Leeds Village. This is in Lee, people. Not in fucking Manchester. It's in Lee. Right? And they're playing Arsenal, who I think was goal difference. I think we're top by a point or goal difference, top of the league. That is to me, league-defining game. They have to win on Wednesday, and I think we've got a big chance of maybe winning something this season. But big up to Nick Nash. I was going to talk about it. Guys, I'm not going to mince my words. I'm not going to say anything. I say it, and I say it simple. Manchester United need to turn up tomorrow. If Manchester United turn up with no intensity, no aggression, no physicality, especially, and no dominance in the midfield, we're getting absolutely murdered. And the reason why I won't play Maguire in my team is because we need somebody to keep up with the likes of Gibbs-White and the likes of Johnson. Let me just get
and don't forget Dennis.
Big up Rafa says, Tom is the minority takeover nonsense. I want to cry. Tom, get back here, lad. I don't know where he is, but he'll come back. Let me just get this from HKN Music. HKN Music says, Sabitzer pass accuracy was 50 last time. At the 10, 2 good goals, but overall game was poor. Yeah, 100%. Majority, I think, the only midfielder that had any good passes, actually, the high percentage, was Casemiro. Everybody else was dog shit, and Casemiro was giving the ball away as well. So, big up to you, bro. Go ahead, Mundo. You were going to say something about tomorrow's game.
Was I?
Yeah, you were going to say, I'm talking about not playing Maguire tomorrow because he'd be an absolutely liability. Absolutely liability. And if Manchester United don't control the midfield, majority tomorrow, they're going to sit back. Against the big teams, the big clubs, they sit back, right? And they just do transitional play. They get the ball to Gibbs-White. One of the midfielders with the defender wins the back, punches it into Gibbs-White. Gibbs-White is really clever. He knows how to buy free kicks. He's good on the turn. He's got pace. And then he hits Johnson. So I don't want that tomorrow. I want complete control tomorrow. Is Tom right? How much does Erik ten Hag need to reset the way Manchester United play? Because for the first time this season, I think we're going to play without Martinez and we're going to play without Varane.
Yeah, I think Eriksen back is absolutely critical because he's the only one who can break the lines in that midfield. Casemiro can occasionally pick a pass, but I mean consistently pick a pass is Eriksen, and I think they're going to have a lot to worry. I think if we had Cass, Eriksen, and Bruno, then that would cause them some concern because Bruno's been playing in the double pivot recently. So even though Sabitzer has got 2 goals in the last game, he's not as much of a threat as Bruno. He hasn't got the same range of passing as Bruno. So if like Bumaya is saying, if we put Eriksen in tomorrow, that does give us a bit more composure on the ball, gives us a bit more of a goal threat. Bruno's a goal threat. So he might go that way, actually, thinking about it, because the goals have got to come from somewhere. As you say, Rashford's injured. If he doesn't start Martial, then he has to play Bruno in the 10, because anything else would be a disaster. Sabitzer and that tree up front. I'm just glad that McTominay is injured because we might get another Newcastle part 2, McTominay tree pivot up front. I mean, that would be a disaster. But the thing is, you can't play Weghorst tomorrow. You can't play Weghorst tomorrow when you've got Maguire in the back, because that's just slow at the back and slow up front, and no pace throughout the team. We have to fight, as I said before, we have to fight fire with fire. We need pace against pace tomorrow. For me, I'm just getting the speed merchants on the pitch and just give the ball to Bruno, give the ball to Eriksen if he starts, and just hit the channels and just get those guys moving. And the thing is, as well, is I've been impressed with Anthony in the last few games. People have been criticising him, but you can't have your cake and eat it.
But
People
Mundo,
have been
he can't finish though. He can't finish the save.
No, he can't finish, but he's getting it. No, but that will come. People were criticising, saying he's not going past players. He's not getting in positions. He's doing all of that now.
He's so transparent. I know. I'm watching it. I'm watching it in the stadium, and I can tell how he's going to shoot. You've got to disguise the shots. Why don't you hit bottom corner? You've got the one that have a left foot. Why do you always got to go across the goalkeeper for? Hit bottom corners. Lace the ball.
He should have scored against. He should have scored against Everton. He should have scored against Seville. He's hit the woodwork in both games.
That don't mean jack to me, Mundo. That ain't buying me jack. Get that ball in the net because you've got the best opportunities of Man United. He has been on form. Don't let me. I agree 100%. Tracking back, aggressivity in terms of the energy that he brings to the team, holding the ball, being an outlet, all those things superb. About 3 games ago, I gave him the man of the match. Everybody's like, "What are you talking about? They didn't do anything." I'm like, that's the best defensive and I've seen from him. The best tracking back all season. I've been on him because sometimes he likes to cheat. He likes to stay between the fullback and the centre half, and he doesn't go out to the fullback, right? But one of the games, I think it was Brentford. That's it. The Brentford game. I gave him because you know what? When Brentford would try to get into the game, try to bully us on that side, right? On that side, right? On the right-hand side. He literally put a stop to it. They were trying to overload us. He came and helped out Juan Bissaka. Was it Juan Bissaka or Diego De La Fima? Might be Juan Bissaka. Him and Juan Bissaka shut that down. So I agree with you. But Mundo, he's so transparent in where he's going to shoot. I can't have that. You are a professional footballer. Where's your snooker shots? Drill it, bottom corner. They're always going across. And when he's through one-on-one, he has to put his body, like against Everton, right? You know what? When you're through one-on-one, you've got to put your body centrally across the defender because if he touches you in the box, it's a penalty. But you know
what? The thing is, right? Anthony's still raw. He's a very raw player, right? But the thing is, you can see he's got the ingredients. We haven't had anyone on the right-hand side with any ingredients for God knows how long. I can't remember the last time we had anything that resembled anything like a right winger. So the fact that he's getting into, I'm giving him. He's how long has he been in England for? 7 or 8 months. I'm seeing more from him. He's more of a threat than Sancho. Yeah, with Sancho, this is his 2nd season at Man United. And Anthony always gets subbed off, and I get frustrated because I'm like, why is he getting subbed off? Why is Sancho not getting subbed off? The problem I have tomorrow is you can't play Sancho and Anthony in the same team, in my view. They're too similar because when you've got Rashford on the left, then you can afford to have Anthony because Rashford is direct, but you can't have 2 tippy-tappy guys as your winger, right? Especially when you don't have a centre forward. You need someone who's a bit more direct, which is why I think Pellistri should play tomorrow because he gives you that balance. And that might mean Anthony plays out on the left. But Anthony has in game switched over to the left. And in some periods of the game, he's looked better on the left than he has on the right. So I would put him out on the left and put Pellistri on the right tomorrow because I think we need to go direct, like super direct. Forget any tippy-tappy. Forget trying to build up from the back. Just get in behind because for 45 minutes against Everton, they couldn't live with that. We were just going direct, get the ball into Bruno over the top. Now, if Forest play deep, really, really deep, then we've got to break them down. So that's going to be a bit of a problem. But if you've got Martial in the team, he's good in tight spaces. So Martial has to start tomorrow, 100%, even if he only plays 60 minutes. Because if he doesn't play, I'm seeing stodge football tomorrow. Because Weghorst up front, you've got those 2 slow coaches at centre-half and Lindelof and Maguire not being able to pass the ball through the lines. It's going to be side to side. It's going to be Sancho losing the ball. It's going to be Weghorst able to hold up the ball. And that just invites pressure. Martial's got to start. If he's fit enough to be on the bench, he's fit enough to start, in my view. You always start with your best players, and then if you're in a comfortable position, then you take them off.
Right, big up. Mumbai, talk to me. Talk to me. Tomorrow we need to go out wide. They play
I
very
think
narrow. They go out wide.
I think it's important to have an idea of what type of game you think this is going to be. The last time we played them, we absolutely dominated them. We camped them in their own box. They defended deep and they tried to break
Was that the
break
League
out.
Was that the League Cup?
I don't know. It was 3-0, I think.
Yeah, League Cup.
The League Cup, to be fair to them, I watched that game. They had a couple of chances and 1 or 2 goals disallowed, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that could have changed the whole complexion of the game. But go ahead.
But when you look at the general narrative of the game, chances are chances. You're going to concede them when you play with risk. City will concede them. Arsenal will. We will. That's life. But the general narrative of the game is this is a team that defended with a back five, quite deep. And even when they tried to get out, we wouldn't let them out and we camped them in. So having seen that before, and having watched Forest, I think Forest are a good side. I think, they're fun to watch. They do, when they break, they've got players that know how to break and like to break, and they can play together. So tomorrow, Casemiro has to have a good game for me to compensate for our centre-backs not being there. And that's the reason I start Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Malacia. I think they have the good ingredients to, give us that, to make up for the shortfall of Martinez and Varane. Malacia had a bad game, but he's had a lot of good games recently as well. He's tenacious, he's aggressive, and you want that. And he's fast and he's agile. And Wan-Bissaka, there's never any fear for him defensively. I start Eriksen and Bruno. I want to keep the ball. I don't want to go long tomorrow. I don't think we're going to be able to do that go long thing unless they're going to come press us and, because they're at home. I don't think that's the game that we're going to see personally. Could be wrong, but I'm basing that on what I've seen from them when we faced them. So with that said, this is why you start Martial, you start with Sancho, you start with Anthony. They're intricate players. And they're not going to score the goals for us in isolation. They're going to score the goals with the midfield right behind their backs, and they're going to play a part in the goals, in my opinion. So this is why I'm going with this team. I want to hem them in. I don't want to go long. I don't think it's going to be a game to go long because they're going to be deep. That's how it's going to be, I think, tomorrow. And this is why I picked the team that I picked.
Big up the AFC Bournemouth fan TV. Big up, congratulations, man! What a result today! What a result! Honestly, that was the result of the weekend for me. That is a magnificent result. That is honestly, the Tottenham brought it back to 2-2, and Tottenham were on the front foot, pressuring them. Bang! They go up 1. Sri Lanka. What's his name? Sayanki. Is that his name? He plays
Solanke.
Yeah, Sri Lanka. He plays a brilliant ball, and the guy stays on side. It's his first goal for Bournemouth. This kid traps back like Ahmed Wafa, and then traps back on his left foot, places it into the bottom corner. What an absolutely fantastic finish! Right.
Just what I say, bro. One thing. If it is the kind of game that I think that I envisage it being, then you can play Weghorst in that type of game. I think the issue with Weghorst is really good in terms of his work. We all know what he does bring, and he's been excellent to drop into the midfield and help out when the game is getting away from us. And he's not bad at bringing others into play, nodding it down, giving it easy. He's like a pole that you play off of. If tomorrow is a game where we're not, being pushed back and trying to break out, which I hope it's not that kind of game, and it is a game where we are getting a lot of the ball and we are able to hold on to it because of the midfielders that we've got, and we can make that pitch a little bit smaller and they are defending deep, then you can hit Weghorst because we're not asking him to, run 20 yards from the box and then get there for the service. He'll be able to stay in the area where the service can come to him and play as a centre forward. So you can try and hit him, especially if it's congested in there. So depending on how the game goes, he's not somebody that I have discounted completely. in this game. And by the time Martial is done, if he does start and how the game looks, he might be a very good option to have to bring on to see the rest of the game out.
Should I tell you where there's a problem with what you're saying there from a tactical perspective?
Go ahead.
What that relies on is your two centre halves. You need to squeeze the play. So you need your two centre halves to be high up the pitch. And Maguire and Lindelof, that's suicide against that Johnson kid. And
Suicide
Gibbs White.
FC.
So that's why I'm saying we can't play that way, because we don't. The centre halves haven't got the ability to play that high up. They are going to drop at least. Man United are going to play with centre halves dropping at least 10, 20 yards deeper than what we see with Varane.
That's I understand. I get your logic, but ultimately, what this is you play with an element of risk. That's just the way football is. We play with an element of risk, and we have to take that risk. This is why Casemiro has to have a great game tomorrow. This is why you put Malacia and Wan-Bissaka in there as well, not Dalot. That's why I picked him.
Okay.
And I put Eriksen and Bruno in there, bro. The idea is, if you want to play with that type of risk, then your midfielders.
I agree with you. I agree with you. But the problem is, when I've seen Maguire play this season for Manchester United,
it's a risk. We're taking a risk.
I agree with you 100%, and I think that the manager would. What you're suggesting is how the manager would want to play, irrespective of whether or not Maguire's in the team or not. But what I'm seeing is, and it's just his natural inclination, is I'm seeing Maguire drop, right? And I'm not sure that the manager's even telling him to do that. And the problem with the way that Man United play is that our centre halves, when we engage forward players, we tend to do it at the halfway line. Look at where Martinez engages. Look at where Varane engages. Whenever Maguire has tried to do that, he's made a mess of it. He's made a dog's meal of it, right?
True.
Right?
True.
He's not, and Lindelof is Lindesoft, right? So he's the same, right? So you can see them giving away silly fouls. You can see.
Stop talking, please. You're giving me nightmares. You're giving me PTSD.
This is what I'm saying. With all the will in the world.
What he's saying though is right.
I'm sweating already.
Bro, you know the difference is what you're saying is also something that I 100% agree with. The only difference between us is here. I want to take the risk tomorrow. I want to take the game to them, and I want to tell the boys go. And part of that is because our direct rivals today lost. So you can go into this game and take a little bit more of a deeper breath, knowing that there is not only a cushion in terms of points, but a cushion in terms of this game is not completely 100% must win. It is for us, but the players will know that there is still breathing space if it doesn't quite go our way.
Okay, Mumbai, hold it there. Jarvis, give me some hope. Please give me some hope, Jarvis. Give me some hope.
First of all, I want to say it's very interesting listening to a debate with you three guys, because you have really good knowledge about football, and Boombaye, you have some really good points about playing Weghorst, but then Mundo counter it with slow in the back and slow in the front with the two Chuckle brothers. So it's difficult, and this is what we're talking about now is Ten Hag's dilemma. You know, he have probably thought about all these things in front. So how are we going to solve it? In my mind, I think Forest will sit back. I don't think they will go in straight into our throats, even at City ground, because they can rely on the three forwards. They have pace and pace and pace. You know, with Gibbs, White, what's the name of the other guys? It's Brendan Johnson and Dennis. You're on mute, Nordin.
The guy from Watford, I always forget his name. Nigerian.
Emmanuel Dennis.
Emmanuel Dennis, Johnson, and Gibbs White.
And they have pace, and they will try to hit us on the break. So playing Eriksen and Casemiro in midfield will actually be a good thing, because then we control the midfield. We won't be as vulnerable with losing the ball all the time. and Mundo's point with the forwards, the wingers, not playing Sancho is probably a good thing because he's so easily dispossessed. So playing Anthony and Pelestri, they are both good on the ball and won't lose it as fast as easily. So I think we are on to something now, and it's up to Ten Hag to find the right way to play. But I'm not confident that we will beat Forest because they are really good. So at least with the centre backs we have, unless Ten Hag can pull a rabbit out of the hat and play Shaw in as one of the two centre backs, then we will be fine. So yeah.
Big up, Jarvis. Let me just get this. AFC B Fan TV. Can you add me if you're on Twitter? Add me, tag me in a tweet, and then I'll follow you back. And then hopefully when we play each other, you can come on the channel, and then I'll come on your channel, no problem. So please tag me in a tweet on Twitter, and I'll come on. We'll hook up. I'll follow you back. Right, big up to you. Right, Jarvis, I'm gonna stay with you. So the Glazer news comes out today. They call themselves what are they called? Carlisle. Vultures. The vultures are hanging because apparently now is Jazim, sorry, and Radcliffe, and then there's five other bidders. They're all investment bankers, vultures, right? So they're circling. The vultures are circling. I've always stuck to it. No, people were telling me Man United are going to be sold by March. By the end of March, somebody said, people were telling me, or people were calling me negative by saying, no, we're not going to be sold by March. You're smoking. I said to them, check the pipe you're smoking. Check the pipe that you're smoking. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so that's the latest group. It's the group. Before it was the Elliott, now it's the Carlisle group. What do you think about these games that have been played, and who's leaking these stories for the Glazers?
No, it's about money. Everything is about money, and the Glazers want to have as much money as possible. We know they are financing acrobats. They have been doing so much shady stuff the last 10, 15 years. The other day, I sat down on Chat GPT and just asked a question if they could say if the Glazers had done any shady economic business. And it gave me a list like in 15 points about stuff they have been doing, and with all their firms like juggling around. And basically, it's mostly about avoiding tax and stuff like that. So they are not honest businessmen. So they will do whatever they can do to put to try to fool the buyers and fool the fans and fool everybody to get another penny. It's just the way they work. So I don't think there's anything going to happen in the next. Well, I hope it will be a sale before the summer is ended, and we'll be able to buy some players, but I wouldn't bet on it to be fair.
Mundo, quickly, go ahead.
Yeah, I think the leak's on the Glazers, and I think really for me there's only two real serious bids: the Qatari bid and Sir Ratcliffe's bid, in my view, because if they could take my investment and keep on
Sorry,
different Carlisle, yeah. It's not that one.
Big up Stephanie Griffin. She's an absolute legend. Go ahead, Mundo. Sorry, go ahead.
So I was saying, if they could have taken minority investment and retained the club, they would have done so already. They would have done so already, right? Because we know that there's two of the family that don't want to go. So presumably, what's being offered by these five vulture capitalist organisations is not good. It's not great. All that they're offering is something that's just staving off the inevitable, which I've said from the beginning. Because even if they sell a minority stake in the club, they still got to find the money for the infrastructure. We've just been told, right, that there's a bid for hosting Euro 2008 across all of the countries in the UK. Right, the top 10 stadium in the country, and they've not picked Old Trafford, right, which has got the second largest capacity after Wembley. Why do you think that is? Because it's a dump, right? And the Glazers couldn't guarantee that that stadium would be fit for purpose by 2028, which is how many years away, right? So that for me is a massive indicator. They've got no money, and even if they get investment from Carlisle, are Carlisle going to put up 1-2 billion or whatever it is to renovate the stadium? And the thing that came out as well, but very clear, is that the Glazers cannot take on any more debt. We've got £1 billion worth of debt. There's no capacity for them to take on any more. So all they can do,
the overdraft is run out.
Yeah, they've got nowhere to go. So the only thing they can do is sell off some of their shares. Now let's think about how the Glazers operate. Let's say they sell off,
30%.
let's say 20% of their shareholding, right? And they get money in. Who here in this group, including those in the chat, believe that the Glazers are going to take that money and invest that in Manchester United? They're not, right? They are not doing it, right? Therefore, that stadium isn't getting redeveloped. Nothing is happening at the club. They've got no money to spend on players. It's over for them. It's over. It is over. I can't see any way out. And even if they said, okay, Carlisle, we'll take their money, what happens in a year or two, right? Because what they're banking on is the Super League or some cash windfall coming from somewhere else, which is not going to happen, right? So they're stuck.
Yeah.
And everybody around them who's advising them is saying, look, guys, you've got to sell. You've got no choice. But it's just two of them trying to they're dragging their heels, trying to stave off the inevitable, right? It's like if you're in quicksand and the sand is up to your chin and you still think you've got a way out. You ain't, mate. You ain't getting out. It's over. So that's why I'm calm about it. I'm not getting panicked about it. I'm not reading all this stuff that's coming out about the sale, because the only thing that I'm concerned about is that because of their greed, because they don't care about what happens next season, because they're not planning on being here. They just want to get them as much money out as possible. Is that they're disrupting our plans for next season. That is the problem.
I'm sorry, breaking news, Mundo. They've already done it. This is where, from March onwards, is where you start speaking to agents about certain players, and you start talking to players that you want to get rid of their agents about them moving on. It happens. It happens already. And Ten Hag did say on more than one occasion, Bumbaye, he said, I want to take players we sign next season to the preseason tour. Last season, we only took Malacia to the preseason tour. Bumbaye, talk to me.
Yeah, I only know how to buy a house, bro. I don't know anything about this stuff. I'll be honest. I'll go with Chris. He seems confident. I'm confident in him, and we just go with that, bro. And we'll just go with that, man. This shit is papers. This is a dream for a journalist. I can put anything I want, anytime I want. So this guy said this, that, did that. All I'm hoping for is that we get somebody that's got loads of money to give Ten Hag so that I can see what Eric Ten Hag can really do. Chris seems confident. I go with Chris.
Well, let's hope. Listen, the facts are the facts. Man United own this amount of money. Man United, I think, would have already got the investment. They tried to get it from Saudi Arabia about two years ago. The guys who own Newcastle United, and they said they wanted to give them the Class A shares for 700 million for 30%. And they went, so you're giving us the shares that have no voting rights over the club. See you later. So that was what it was. To me, to be able to do this is ridiculous. It is what it is. It's propaganda and PR, and calling it out is so. So, Mundo, quickly, what's the score tomorrow? Big up Craig, by the way. Martinez is out for the season. He's done. He's done out here. Go ahead.
I think it's gonna scrap a game, but I think we'll just about win it. I'm gonna say 1-0 Man U. 1-0 Manchester United.
Bombaye.
Yo.
What's the score tomorrow?
I'm going to go for 2-1 United.
Okay. Jarvis.
It's about scoring first, but hopefully 2-1 United.
Me, by any means necessary, no excuses, no more excuses for cowards FC. Manchester United have got to go and get the 3 points by any means necessary tomorrow. By any means. That's what they have to do. Big up and Nani Balling. If you're still alive, tag me in a tweet, bro. Big up, and we can say congratulations to our women's team. Brilliant. Absolutely. It was squeaky bum time. Rachel Williams had to come off the bench to set us through to the final. Wembley, 14th of May, apparently. That's what it is. Hopefully, I'm trying to get a ticket for that. I'll be off to Wembley to support our women. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be rolling back like the 90s soul and R&B people. I'll be there. That's what I'll be doing. Forget about Rick Ashley. Oh, is it Rick Ashley? Who's it? Whoever it is. I'm an R&B kid, so yeah, I'll be rolling. I'll be singing all the way to Wembley. I'll be there. Big up to AFCB Fan TV. Hopefully, tag me in a tweet. And big up to you guys. Enjoy the match of the day. And tomorrow we'll see what happens. But yeah, it ain't gonna be to me. I don't care how they do it. I don't care how they do it. I genuinely do not care how they do it. They must do it tomorrow. It is a must. It is an absolute must to be able to get a little 3-point breather over Newcastle. And how many points ahead of Spurs as well. That's what we need to do, people. That's what we need to do tomorrow. It's a must. Cowardly FC, no excuses tomorrow. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, people. And make sure you go and subscribe to Malcolm as well. Malcolm's going to go live in a minute. So go and check out Malcolm's channel. I think it's called MK United 19. That's what it's called. MK United 19 on YouTube. So go and check that out. I'll go now. Mundo, you can find him at Mundo on Twitter. He's got toddlers. He don't tweet. Don't worry about it. Bombaye is exclusive. I've got him tied down like Todd Bowley. I've got him tied down. I've done a Todd Bowley on him. He's tied down forever to United Real Therapy. But make sure you go and check out the knowledgeable, the man with the most. Scandinavian brother. Bowley 77. Jarvis Cocker himself.
Yeah, big up, Jav.
Go and check him out. Make sure you give him a follow. And also make sure you check out Tom Journalist 1 as well. Tom Journalist 1. You make sure you check him out as well.
Tom's got off to write the next Glazer thing for you to talk to us about tomorrow again.
Right, there you go. We'll be back here tomorrow night sometime. Tomorrow night in the evening, about around maybe same time maybe. Hey, should we do it, guys? If you're available tomorrow for the match reaction, 9:30? If you're available, guys, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, it should be all right.
Yeah, let's do it. Big up. Man United. Yeah, get out there. Never gonna let you down, mate. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna give you up. Get over there, man. Get over there. I'll be honestly, Man United do it tomorrow. I'm not gonna lie to you. I will learn the words to that song and we'll have it playing on here. We'll have it. We'll have it. We'll all be singing it.
Harry Maguire to score an 89th minute winner.
Oh my God! To shut me up. To shut us up. I would love that. I would absolutely love that if you could do that tomorrow. I would be coming on here singing, "There's only one slabhead."
Slabhead owes us one, mate. He owes us one.
Oh,
he owes us 10, mate. Never mind one.
Everybody owes us. Listen, enjoy match today if you're in the UK. Jarvis, love and light. Take care. Jarvis, you get the BBC channel, BBC in Scandinavia.
No, we don't. We
It's a shame.
got the NRK. Norwegian
Okay, you know what?
broadcasting, same.
Jarvis, we'll talk off the thing, and I'll You might. There's some things you can do. If you got a VPN, you can watch Match of the Day, which is the one of the oldest highlights TV program about football in the world. It's the oldest. Yeah. Peace, love, light, people. Take care. We lose or draw. Glazer start bank us out. We're in the predicament where we're in, people. Fish rots from the head. Glazers out. Bankers out by any means as well. See you tomorrow, 9:30 or 9 o'clock for the match reaction. Take care. Good night.
Good night.